Jude.
Yes.
Take it away, Pandorum.
2009 Pandorum, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour 48 minutes. This had a budget of $33 million.
That's it?
What do you think this brought into the box?
Holy shit. I thought this was going to be way more. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it made any money because I've only ever seen this on like a streaming platform. I don't remember this coming out. $28 million.
Okay. V?
34 million.
Broke even.
$20 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all three of these movies lost money at the box office.
It's like the general audience isn't into creepy, weird sci-fi horror.
I would have went and seen this
and
if
that's
I
just
known.
really hard.
If I had known how weird this movie was, I probably wouldn't have went and seen this.
Would have?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a weird ass movie.
This is a weird ass movie.
This is fucking cool though. I love this movie.
It's my favorite movie of the week.
Okay. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, take it away, Jude. What's the synopsis?
Okay. Dennis Quaid and Corporal Bauer wake up on a spaceship headed for planet Tanis. And while you were sleeping, shit went real wonky. Some of the passengers went full space cannibal. Some are sleeping, and most are dead. Bauer meets a group of survivors from previous space crews and teams up to figure out what went wrong on the mission. Bauer has to get to the ship's reactor to right the mission. But meanwhile, Dennis Quaid's gone full metal jacket, and who knew they stacked shit so high? He's got to save the ship by killing everyone aboard the ship, and also relive the memory of the last time he tried this, 900 plus years ago. Turns out, they crash landed on the ocean floor of Tanis a while ago, but kind of forgot. So Bauer blows a hole through the hull, triggering the emergency escape pods and really hoping those pods aren't full of man-eating space schizos. Discuss.
Did you see that twist coming?
That they were
already on the planet?
No. First watch, dude.
Yeah.
This movie was kind of cool. It wasn't good, but it was kind of cool.
So,
I don't know how to put the distinction between there, but it's like, some shenanigans are going on
right.
when the sleeper people, the colonists, noticed there was no donkeys on this ship anywhere.
Jesus Christ, dude.
They've mutated into another form of life.
Oh, the evolution
I'm going, okay, they've been doing this for about 1,000 years, probably. It's in my head canon.
Yeah.
They're doing some weird shit here, and it was interesting. It was like two different movies. It was like this weird kind of boxed in. I'm going to come out of the sleep and I'm going to figure things out, and we're going to wiggle through air ducts and everything. And then it started getting really goofy weird about halfway through it.
Yeah.
Dennis
I
Quaid,
agree. This is two different movies.
Yeah.
And that's one of the negatives that I found about it. So Dennis Quaid's story feels very separated from the rest of it. There's a dope ass freaking horror science fiction movie with them going through the bowels of the ship, and there's a certain group of people who have been awake for a long ass time, and they've evolved into some weird cannibalistic freaking
space zombie
golem type creatures.
People, yeah.
And I love that aspect of it. Dennis Quaid's story, I felt like they were oh, we got Dennis Quaid, now we have to do something with him. And they wrote this weird, mind-bendy part of the show. And that's my least favorite part.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid's the worst part of this
He's
movie.
the worst part of this movie, but I'm glad they have him.
Why?
Because I like Dennis Quaid.
See, I like Dennis Quaid too. I feel like Dennis Quaid's like your Sam Neill.
Okay.
He's the same dude in every movie. But he's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because he's Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
I just think they should have done something different with him. They should have made him more of a part of the major narrative.
Did it feel like he was kind of like a modern day Bruce Willis type of role with this movie?
Modern day Bruce Willis?
Yeah, it's like I'm going to show up for a couple of weeks and get paid, and because I don't think he wasn't in this movie very long.
I think they should have miniaturized him and injected him into Ben Foster.
Exactly.
That movie blows.
I mean, I feel like they could have filmed the parts of this movie that he was in probably fairly quickly, right?
Yeah.
They probably just had him for 3 or 4 days.
Right.
And just knocked out his stuff.
Which is thus my Bruce Willis.
That's kind of what it
comparison.
feels like.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bauer's story, the younger guy who goes off into the bowels of the ship, that is the best part of this movie. And I have a ton of fun with it. It's so cool.
The adventure through future human space weirdos, that's interesting.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
But that's a completely different kind of movie.
It's a totally different movie.
From the Dennis Quaid stuff.
Yeah.
It
I also
very
like
strange.
I like the explanation for the mutant cannibal race, which is basically the humans on the ship while they were in hyperstasis, they were being injected with this like hormone or something like that was meant to prepare them to quickly adapt to the changes on like the planet they were going to, planet Tanis. But when they were woken up over the course of like hundreds of years, that chemical basically made them adapt to the environment of the ship, and that's what turned them into these like monsters. And so like there was like an actual like scientific explanation for it within the story, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. Jude, what are your thoughts on this movie?
Hated it.
What? Shocker.
Get out of here.
This is my least favorite of
Really?
the week. Yeah.
That's funny.
You like this less than
I sure
Sunshine?
do. Sure do.
Why?
Again, I thought it was boring.
She also hates Dennis Quaid.
I don't hate him. I just don't think I actually had to stop and be like, do I like him in anything? And the only thing I've ever liked him in is what is it called? Inner Space?
Yeah.
Inner Space.
That's a shit
and I
movie.
like went through his IMDb and I was like, this is the only movie that he's in that I actually like him in.
Wow.
I think I'm going to get a dog and name him Quaid.
Quaid, that's like a Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
You know, you have Jack Russell Terrier. I'm going to have Quaid, the
Kurt Russell Terrier.
Kurt Russell Terrier. I'm going to have a Quaid, the Rottweiler. It's a great name.
I would love him in Squeezy.
Just stick with the English Bulldog. I can't believe you didn't like this movie. I thought this would have been like at least something interesting for you.
Yeah.
That's
no.
weird. Wow. Huh. Wow. See, I did it again.
Yeah.
Did this movie need Owen Wilson in it?
Yeah.
He makes everything better.
He needed to be
Wow.
Bauer. Wouldn't it be funny if it would have been a comedy if Owen Wilson played Bauer?
Yeah,
And
Ben Foster's kind of like the serious Owen Wilson in a way.
I don't know, man. I really enjoyed this movie.
I
love
enjoyed this movie too.
the cat and mouse game that they play in the bowels of the ship. Everything's so dark, and all they have is the flashlight. It's so creepy. And then they have like that. He's walking down the hallway, and he sees that dude just hanging there. And then he's like, "What's going on?" He looks up, and then he gets sucked into the rafters.
The whole switching back and forth between psychological thriller and action movie, though,
It's
very strange, right?
Yeah.
Am I not the only one that feels?
No,
that
you're
way?
totally right. That's why I say that's the biggest negative of this movie is that it's two different movies.
Yeah.
It didn't jive. I don't know. Kadish, what do you think about this film?
So first of all, I have to say that this movie was produced by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Is it really?
Yes.
I had no
Paul
idea.
W.S. Anderson.
Yeah. Did he put his initials on this one?
Yeah, yes. This one has his initials.
That's why I like it.
It's stanky.
It's good. It's got some stank on it.
But I don't, so like he didn't have anything to do with the script. He didn't have anything to do with the direction. This is actually kind of like it's a German film. The director is German, the original writer is German. And it was originally planned to be like a super low budget feature. It was going to be shot for like $200,000 in an abandoned paper mill. And they never thought it was going to be like an actual like studio production. And Paul Stanky kind of came in and was like, hey, I like this script. Let's put some money behind it. And so he kind of fostered it into like a studio production, gave them like a big budget, and they ended up shooting it at like this like abandoned power plant in Germany or something like that. And this was supposed to be the first of a trilogy of films. Like, so like at the end of this movie, when they escape the ship and like they have 1,200 survivors with them, this was like meant to be the preamble. And then like there were going to be 2 more movies after this.
That's a streaming show I want to watch.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
But because of the disappointment at the box office, it never really got off the ground. I don't like Ben Foster. I mean, he was okay in this movie, but as an actor, like I've just never really cared for him.
That's a guy who plays the same character in every movie. And
Ben Foster?
Yeah.
He's the poor man Aaron Paul for me.
Aaron Paul.
Jesse Pinkman?
Shut up, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Science, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing, bitch?
He always plays kind of a crazy character, though, especially in Westerns. When he's a cowboy.
Ben Foster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
was in 6 Feet Under, too, right? He was a creepy boyfriend in that?
Maybe.
He was also the worst part of the Warcraft movie. I thought
Seriously?
he was like very miscast.
He was the
You know
wizard,
what?
right?
Honestly,
Yeah.
anyone who's in the Warcraft movie, automatic thumbs down for me. I
There's
hate that movie.
no bad parts of the Warcraft. movie.
Ragnar Lothbrok?
Come on.
Come on. You don't like him in that movie?
I had my first panic attack after watching that movie.
That movie made me weirdly horny for orcs. That orc lady was
He'll
like,
do it.
"Whoo,
It's
baby."
like, oh, what are you gonna do with those molars, those canines you got there? How you doing? Corona.
Right?
But so like I actually I'm with Vader. This was my favorite movie of the week. It's the most enjoyable. It's got a good mystery to it, and I also need to point out that Antje Traue, who plays Nadia in the movie, the one woman who's in it is freaking hot as hell.
Yep.
And every time she was on screen, I was like, I just want to be watching her.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Kadish's notes right now, and it says her name, and it says in parentheses, hot chick.
But she was a German actress who had worked with the director of this movie before. And in fact, we get a little Norman Reedus cameo in this movie from the guy from The Walking Dead. And the reason he's in this movie is because the director's previous movie he had worked with Norman Reedus on, and Reedus was like, "Oh, hey, you got a part for me in your new movie?" And the guy was like, "I think I can fit you in there." So that was a fun little Easter egg that we saw him, because at the time, like Norman Reedus, like I think he'd maybe done Boondock Saints, and that was about it. And he was kind of an unknown. But overall, like I really like the story of this movie. I thought it was a very clever film. I thought it was well shot. I was entertained. I've seen this movie like couple times beforehand, so I kind of knew what to expect, and I thought that the reveal at the end was like a good twist when I first saw it. So like it was good, like I said, it was out of the 3 movies we watched this week, this one I thought was the most entertaining.
One of my favorite scenes is when they're getting chased by like the creepy mole people or whatever from the spaceship, and they're going through the cold storage area, and like one of them pops up and opens, and the dude just wakes up, and all of a sudden he just starts getting eaten.
I felt bad about that.
And then the dude, the big bad freaking zombie dude, like gets on top and like skewers him through the head. It was so brutal. I was like, holy shit, dude.
The cannibal kid.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Cannibal. Oh, the little tiny baby one? Super creepy.
Super creepy.
With like the weird pale skin.
Throat.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
Yeah, this movie.
Yeah, they didn't hold back.
No.
I mean, this movie.
It's rated R for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I like the design of the cannibal zombie, whatever. What are they called? Do they have a name in
They're
this
mole
movie?
people.
I guess.
They're like Gollum. Like a bunch of people who spend way too much time in the dark.
Was there like a name in the production for them? What are they called? Like, what were they called in like Starlog magazine or something?
I don't know.
Let's see what the IMDb says.
I'm just really curious what they're supposed to be. It's just mutants, I guess. So.
Yeah. Well, evolved humans. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I agree. I think the twist ending that they're actually already on the planet. They've just been underground or under the water for 100 years or whatever.
They just call them hunters.
Hunters?
Yeah. Okay.
Is super cool. And I will agree that if there was like a sequel to this, which I still think there should be, because there's plenty of like original sci-fi to kind of draw from.
Does this thing have a cult following?
Yeah, so like there's actually like a Facebook group that is very active, and the writer and director of the movie have joined it. And it's called Fans for a Pandorum Sequel, and like they're trying to drum up support.
I'm going to go join that group.
I'm in.
I am not in.
Give me more. Can you imagine like a sequel would be like, okay, so they're on the planet.
It's like, we're going to make a sequel to this terrible movie that nobody watched.
The humans, the normal humans who come out of cryo, they're already like, okay, we're on the planet. Cool. Let's go start a civilization. And then once the sun goes down, which this planet's going to have like 3 suns. So like night's going to come around like every 6 months. Every 6 months, the creepy mole people are going to come out.
Black rules?
Yeah, pitch black rules.
Yeah, but all the hunters were down in the ship.
But they're going to get out because they blew a hole through the.
But that was all the people that were in cryo. That were still in.
No,
the
the way they got the ejection ports to come is they blew a hole through the hull, so the hunters can get out of the ship.
I thought they launched all the cryo tubes out through like their.
Yeah, that was
so Vader's correct. So basically, all the cryo tubes have like an ejection module. So like the cryo tubes can be ejected from the ship. But what happened with the hunters is that basically the ship flooded and drowned all of them.
No, they survived.
They're alive too.
Yeah.
It's just part of the ship.
I think they have special sea breathing powers.
Yeah, something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't understand like they keep meeting people from other missions, but they're on the same ship. I don't get that.
Because the journey to get from point A to point B was going to be over a long ass time. I don't remember how many years it was, but it's going to be generations worth. So it was
going to be like 8 years, I think.
No, it was more than that.
No, it was
way more than that.
So there was
5 different crews,
and
each one rotates into so that they all don't age, a decade or to the point where they're too old to do anything.
So
like crew one
just goes into cryo.
Yeah. So crew one is on the flight deck for let's just say 2 years, and then they wake up crew 2, and then they go into cryo. Crew 2 flies it for the next 2 years, and they just keep rotating.
And they wake up crew 3, then crew 4,
and
then
I
they
think
rotate.
there's 5 crews total, and then that one crew that woke up was the lady and then the dude from The Walking Dead. They were part of like crew 3 or something.
Yeah, what they got a dispatch back from Earth that said you're the last. Earth is dead.
Yeah.
Nuclear war or something bad happened.
Yeah.
It's like you're our last hope, and then they went a little crazy, and some bad shit started happening.
Okay.
And,
I kept thinking of it like how the Icarus. They sent one, it failed. They sent another one. And I was like, well, how are they all on the same ship right now?
No, it's a
Okay, now I get it.
it's a generational thing. It's
I
just
still hate it.
Yeah, it was basically a colony ship. So
Yeah.
they had 5,000 people on the ship when it launched, and the flight crews would rotate out after a couple years, and the girl in the movie, she was like one of the botany teams. Like she was meant to like help repopulate Tanis with like Earth plants and animals and
They
insects.
tattoo everyone with their job.
Pretty much.
yeah, cook, because they had memory amnesia issues when they come out of cryo, so that stuff on their they could probably like
Remember
go to
who
a
they
computer and scan their arm, let them fill them all in, and it's like I want to know where the bonnets and covered wagons section part of
Jesus.
the ship was.
Why are you so salty about Firefly?
If they're going out terraforming a planet, I want to know where this stuff is. Where the muskets at, and the four wheelers.
How
I
about
really want to
that-
know where the four wheelers from 1992 are stored. So yeah,
How about that creepy cannibal guy that they meet?
Oh yeah, the one who's got his own little home.
The one who's the chef.
Yeah.
He was the
Yeah.
cook.
Yeah, that is super creepy.
He's like, I'm gonna feed you.
you gotta open up a pod.
Does he
Get some protein
poison them?
once in a while.
Immediately, I was like, he's gonna eat you.
Yeah.
well, no, what was interesting about that scene is so like he cooks them up this stuff and he like gives them like these mugs of soup basically,
Oh.
and none of them trust him, so they're like we're not going to eat this, and then like he ends up gassing them
Yeah.
to knock them out because like the food was meant to be a distraction to like put them at ease. They're like, oh, I'm not going to eat this, and then they like pass out, and he like has them strung up, and he's like, I'm going to eat you. Yeah.
Is there a compartment on the ship full of Chevy Tahoes and
Yes.
Jeep Wranglers?
Yes, I see
Yes.
JT in the JT's in the chat right now saying they have Tahoes?
Yeah.
Tahoes?
Yeah.
Oh my
Would
God.
an engine mechanic be a person that you would want to have come along? I would
Some
think
kind of
so.
a mechanic, yeah.
A mechanical
space
engineers.
engineer.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that there were mules in one of those like
Cryosleep
embryo
things. Oh,
you-
pods.
Yeah, so they could
Yeah.
they could birth them and then they would have, beasts of burden.
What about like kangaroos?
Sure.
And bulldogs.
Penguins? Did you take penguins?
Bulldogs are an evolutionary mistake, dude.
I'm aware.
It was basically
really are.
Noah's Ark, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they had everything on there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I guess that's it. I'll do final thoughts. I have a hell of a good time with this movie. This is my, I think, third time watching it over the course of a couple of years. Once I discovered it, I watched it, and I was like, that was weird.
Yeah.
And I liked it. So this is like my third watch or whatever. I was super stoked. When I kind of came up with this theme for this week, it was like sci-fi horror. This one was the first movie that came to my mind. I was like, yeah, let's do that one. That was cool. Freaking space zombies and shit. I'm going to give it a solid 3.5. It's good, fun, interesting, unique sci-fi that's not really kind of ripping any one thing off. It's just, it's very of its own. And I like that. And I do want to see a sequel. I want to see them get off the ship. I want to see them have a war between the normal humans and like the hyper evolved humans, and they go at it. And yeah, show me that.
Maybe they'll evolve into like space Vikings.
That'd be dope.
That'd be really cool, right?
Freaking axes and shit.
Yeah.
Long beards.
And
They're basically orcs.
yeah, they're basically orcs,
Yeah.
goblins. I'm right there with you, dude.
3.5?
I'm right. No,
Oh,
I'm close.
okay.
But I'm a half a point underneath you all day, I think, today.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a 3.
Okay.
It's my favorite movie of the week. Absolutely I had no idea what this was about when I got into it. And what it turned into, I thoroughly enjoyed. It doesn't have the rewatchability factor, I don't think, for me. I could probably watch it again and still enjoy it.
In a couple years,
In a
maybe,
couple years.
when you forget.
Yeah. It's like, all right, space. I love that you said they're orcs, because they are. They're orcs.
Yeah,
they're
space
space
orcs.
orcs. That's a perfect analogy for me. I would like to see a sequel or a streaming series, just like some silly little eight episode thing, see what happens, and put it on Apple TV or Paramount Plus. Or this looks like
No, not Paramount.
This is Hulu or Paramount. Is this a Hulu or a Paramount thing? Where do you think it would go?
Who owns Hulu? Disney.
Disney? Probably Paramount Plus.
Yeah, but they'd copyright us if we talked about
Yeah,
it.
I know, those dickheads. But 3 stars for me. Fun movie. I love Dennis Quaid, even though he wasn't in it very much. space orcs, I'm in. Yeah,
cool.
It's good stuff.
All right, Jude. Is this a 1-star crap fest?
This is a 1-star crap fest.
Get out of here.
I'll give it 1 space orc out of 5 space orcs.
Damn.
I hated everything about it. I will never watch it again. I think that the big budget is what killed it for me. Like, I think if it had had a smaller budget and was campy, I would have been totally into this. But I just wasn't, nothing connected for me. And this is just my own personal opinion. You are totally allowed to love it as much as you want. So please don't come for me. But I hated it so much. I thought it was boring. I hated Dennis Quaid the whole movie. Like him just acting by himself with a camera and just like furrowing his brow and then unfurrowing his brow was the whole movie. It was so stupid. And like even the twist at the end, I was like, whatever. Hate it.
Wow. That's powerful. 1-star crap fest from Jude. All right. Kadish, final thoughts, give it a rating.
So I feel like this is a very entertaining movie. It's very well made. My rating for the movie is definitely like 3 stars, but because of Paul W.S. Anderson's involvement, I have to knock it down a star. So this is going to be a 2-star movie for me.
It's got too much stank on it.
Got too much stank. Yeah, but like the stank is real, even though like it's less stanky than most stanky movies. So yeah, 2 stanks out of 5.
Oh man! All right, guys, that's it for Sci-Fi Horror Week. Let us know what your favorite sci-fi horror movie is and what we can talk about next. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching it. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Give us a thumbs up. And yeah, Vader, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me at MattVader74 on mostly Twitter and here on our YouTube channel on Saturday mornings with Mr. Kadish and our panel as we talk about Star Trek shows. And I'm also on the other things. Just search for me out there, but mostly Twitter.
Cool. Jude?
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram and on TikTok. And I just want to say we have the live chat going right now. And R2 said, I think he heard space sci-fi whores instead of orcs. And he said, I heard sci-fi whores. That is a genre on Cinemax. It just cracked me up.
What's up, R2? Oh, did you say where you can find you?
I sure did.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Kadish, you're next. Go ahead.
All right, you can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. KadishBooks.com takes you to our Amazon page. And I'm looking forward to next week. I think
what is
that
next
should
week?
be interesting because it's the week I picked.
Oh.
It's human sim movies. Where
okay, yeah.
So let me hold on. Surrogates with his Bruce Willis. Gamer, which is Gerard Butler. Did I say his name right? Yeah. And then Ready Player One. That will be fun. I like 2 out of those 3 movies. All right. Tune in next week for human sim movies. Thanks for watching, guys.
I just keep hearing human centipede.
Yeah.
Every time you start to say that.
I got PTSD for that one too. Yeah, for sure. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Stay salty.